Well, hello there, everyone. I hope you brought your martinis for this one because we're talking James Bond, Casino Royale here for Box Office Shuffle Season 2, Episode 8, going back to 2006 for the movie that kicked off the Daniel Craig era. I'm one of your hosts, Thomas, a.k.a. Mr. Warburg. Alongside me is the movie host for this week, the man whose collection this one spat out, Chris, a.k.a. Gamma Caruchador.
I take all of my drinks shaken, not stirred.
Do you guys have you ever done the Vesper Martini, which is the name of the
No.
drink in this movie?
No, I hate martinis.
I tried a dry martini once, and boy, no, gonna pass on that.
They're
It's
awful.
hard.
And the man who doesn't like martinis is Joe, a.k.a. Joe.
What up?
I don't know why I pointed up, because on the actual... We're inverted. On Discord, I'm on the
Yeah.
bottom and they're above me. But the other way around on the actual final product. And I always forget that. Joey would be down there. Oh, down there. He's down there. Opposite. I'm here. Chris is there.
Just find me!
Yeah. You can find him.
Immediately
this-
change Discord name.
So this is Box Office Shuffle, where each, and I say every other week roughly, we spin our physical media collections, we put them in the shuffler, and we pick a host, and then we pick a movie from that host's collection. As I said this week, it was Chris's collection, and it spat out James Bond, and it was one from the Craig era, so we just decided we'll go with the beginning of the Craig era, with Casino Royale from 2006, off his DVD version. I myself,
yeah.
I've owned this version twice. I think Joey's rip is probably from the version that I originally owned. Maybe?
Yes. This has been yeah.
Because I had the DVD as well, and I recently upgraded to the 4K collection, which I think it's WB that distributed it. I can't remember. But the code's expired, and I was pissed. Not okay.
I hate that they do that.
It's bullshit. But still, for $30-some, you get all 5 Craig films for like 4K on when it goes on sale. It was a fantastic deal. And it looks awesome, because I've watched, I think I watched Skyfall on it. Gorgeous.
Such
Gorgeous set. So, I assume this is not anybody's first time watching Casino Royale of the three of us.
Oh, no.
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 Okay. So if you, the audience, haven't seen this, number one, go watch it. It's an awesome action movie, and it's an awesome introduction to the world of James Bond. Like, they absolutely hit the nail on the head of reinvigorating Bond for the modern age, coming off the Brosnan era, which had seen some diminishing returns, and so some general kind of fan fatigue with the franchise. And in comes this new breed of action movie. After, the American, action movies have really taken over with, like, Mission Impossible and Jason Bourne. And in steps in James Bond once again in 2006. This movie was directed by Martin Campbell. And just a note, actually, no, I forgot to mention my first note, which is this is the third time the source material, Casino Royale, which is Ian Fleming's 1953 novel, has been adapted. Do you guys know the other two?
David Neve also did a Casino Royale, another James Bond.
Was that the 1967, the parody one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is actually apparently pretty well regarded, like, spy comedy from of the era.
There. That's the only other one I could think of.
There was also...
Moonraker, I believe.
wait, that was based on this?
Or not based on this, but it was so I actually saw this in the trivia. It's Casino Royale is the first James Bond movie based on a full-length Ian Fleming novel since Moonraker. I thought that's what you were asking.
No, I was not going there. Because the first adaptation was actually not even, I believe, a full year later. It was a 1954 CBS hour-long special. They had purchased the rights
really?
to it right after, like, the novel's release, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the very first adaptation. Then it would be 13 years until we got a movie, which was the 67 like, kind of spy parody. And then it would go until 2006 before the next major adaptation.
Gotcha. So this has been adapted 3 times, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
And largely,
That's what you were saying. Okay.
it would seem this is the most true to source material, albeit obviously modernized from the 50s to today, to 2006. I don't think they had Sony smartphones back then. Yeah,
No, they didn't.
nor
What
satellite
do you
phone
mean?
enabled banking suitcases. At least I assume it was sat phone, but we'll see what happens there when we get into some of the stuff later on. Facts and figures, more of that. As I said, it was directed by Martin Campbell. and grossed $616 million at the box office globally, off a $150 million production budget. So you figure, marketing costs, promo stuff, $300 million in total, more or less, which means it definitely made its money back, regardless of whatever Hollywood accounting says. It made its money. Martin Campbell was the director of several other notable films of that era. He directed Goldeneye, which was largely credited as Pierce Brosnan's best James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also directed the 1 and 2 of The Mask of Zorro and The Legend of Zorro, which I genuinely enjoy as movies.
Antonio Banderas,
Such a good
Cameron Diaz.
No, it's
and
not.
Anthony Hopkins.
It's not
right?
Cameron Diaz.
Or not Cameron
It's-
Diaz. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not Cameron Diaz. It's Catherine
Why did
Zeta-Jones.
I think that? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought. Maybe I got it mixed up with Charlie's Angels.
Or you
guys.
just saw Night and Day. Night and Day, she's actually
Yeah.
fantastic in.
Yeah.
But
That's the one with her and Tom Cruise, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think Paul Dano, doesn't he play this? Oh, he plays like the nerd who invented the MacGuffin.
You know what? That sounds. He would play that role really well.
Yeah. He also directed, in a bit of a down note, one of his next films, not the one preceding or after Casino Royale, but the next one, was 2011's Green Lantern. And he's largely stayed on
classic.
that trajectory with films since. Nothing's broken through or really gotten even moderate Universal. Like, it's decent. He's largely directed a lot of what would be considered like direct-to-streaming action movies kind of thing. You know?
Okay.
Gotcha.
Like,
Yeah.
just functional movies, but not really all that good.
They're not
Yeah.
going to get like the
So basically,
big blockbuster.
he peaked with this one, which, as it happens, is a fantastic film.
it's a good peak.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good, right? It ain't LeBron James, 15-year peak, but it's pretty good.
It's very true.
Yep. So the cast, obviously, Daniel Craig as James Bond, Mads Mikkelsen as Le Chiffre, or Le Chiffre, as the French dude at the card table called him, Judi Dench as M, Ava Green as Vesper Lind, Giancarlo Giannini as Rene Mathis, Jesper Christensen as Mr. White, and my favorite of the Craig-era characters, Jeffrey Wright as Felix Leiter.
Yeah.
I love that dude.
He is good.
I love that dude.
Very small role.
In
but
this one,
still
very small
good.
role, but as he pops up, you buy that he is like James Bond's like actual friend. And I don't. Have you guys seen them all? You guys gone through the end? No, you haven't. Or Chris, you hadn't seen No Time to Die.
I haven't seen No Time to Die. I saw Spectre once, but I've seen Casino Royale and Skyfall a bunch. Quantum of Solace I usually skip.
Yeah. You wouldn't. I should say you would like No Time to Die. I don't know if you'll love it, but I think you will like it.
I'm sure I would like it. It's just that I haven't found the time to just sit down.
It's a
and
long
watch
boy.
it.
Kind of like this
Yeah.
one, which was 2 hours and 24 minutes. Yeah, they were not skimpy on the runtime on this one.
No.
Nor were they in the kind of process to remake Bond. They really went all out in terms of the casting. They really cast a pretty wide net. Now, the initial names thrown about there that actually did get offered the role have been like Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman. Bale didn't want to be in a British franchise, really, especially one that was so British as like an iconic thing. It's the two big British bands would be James Bond, Doctor Who, right? Like, they are very much iconic British fiction brands. And Hugh Jackman, I believe, had wanted to do other film commitments, and he was coming off X-Men, didn't want to do a franchise thing. And Carl Urban was also basically like, hey, if you test well, it's your role, from what it sounds like. But because of his filming commitments, he could not actually attend. And he's a New Zealander, and he's done British work before. He just wasn't able to actually do any in-person screen testing for anything. So he was not officially offered the role, but he would have had the inside track had he done so. The only other serious consideration that has come out in recent years, as now obviously those stories are coming back up because we're looking at a new Bond in the future, was largely that Henry Cavill was an incredibly strong screen test for the role, but the producers wanted somebody who was conceivably a more veteran presence without being a seasoned spy. in that they wanted him to be that more darker, militaristic, like he is a killer vibe. And they weren't convinced Henry Cavill could do that right out of the gate in Casino Royale. And some other actors obviously auditioned for it, like Michael Fassbender auditioned, and a whole bunch of other big names auditioned. I don't remember if McAvoy did, but he would have been on the younger side too back then. So
Dude,
I don't know if he did.
I would love to see McAvoy as a Bond. I think it would be so good.
Yeah. I think now that he's older, I think he'd be great in that role that Ralph Fiennes took over at the end of the Craig era.
Oh, Cube, essentially?
No, he becomes that.
Or no, he was... Oh, that's right. He does become...
He becomes a
M,
new
that's
M.
right.
And I was like, oh man, McAvoy in that role would be awesome, like later on. It'd be great. Just have him pop up, from time to time. You need to have him in the universe somewhere. It'd be dope.
Yeah.
And then obviously they went with Daniel Craig, who actually refused. They were like, you're going to dye your hair blonde or brown from blonde. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. And he caused a lot of stir with how he like revealed himself. And the diehards were like Daniel Craig not Bond.com kind of stuff. Because he wanted to hew more towards, number one, a reinvention of the character. So it's like, I'm not going to dye my hair brown and be this suave spy character. He wanted to do more of this is the guy who's new to being like 00, but he's a killer and has been for a long time, which is why he has become a 00. And he plays that off very, very well, in my opinion. The other casting note I had was take a guess who else was opposite Ava Green in the last two for Vesper Lind. Give you a hint.
God.
Not British.
American?
American.
Okay.
That narrows it down.
God, would Scarlett Johansson be
That's what I was thinking.
big enough at this time?
It's not her. Give you one more guess.
Oh God, I'm drawing blank on female actors.
She does more directing stuff now.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
That's a good guess based on that hint. I'm going to say that's a good guess, but it's not
shit.
her. Joey, what's yours?
I got nothing.
Olivia
I'm just drawing a
Wilde.
blank right now.
Really?
Yeah, Olivia
Dude,
Wilde.
I would watch this movie even more.
Right? Like that is...
I love
I did
Olivia
not even
Wilde.
know until researching for this. I was like, oh, wait. Olivia Wilde was like shortlist, like coin flip between these two? Mm-hmm. Damn, I did not know that. So that was a very interesting piece of trivia. Apparently, and I haven't watched this on 4K, there's a full uncensored cut on the 4K version, which I haven't watched. So I'm probably going to watch that this weekend and see what's
We can see
different.
Daniel Craig's balls get hit.
Well, I think it's more the violence. I think it's the...
You just get the down up shot.
There was
All
one
right, guys,
thing
we're good.
where when he kills the Nigerians, it's apparently a lot more violent.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
That kind of thing.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Another funny, like, British spite humor. Richard Bronson, apparently they let him use some of their planes for Bond productions. He has a cameo. He's the Virgin Air CEO guy. He's getting wanded in the Miami airport as the villain's going by him. But in the British Air, like, when the ones that air on British Air over for, like, movies on the plane, they just cut him out. That is petty as fuck. And I couldn't source that. That was just a Reddit post. But multiple Reddit users were like, yeah, they do that on the British Air for the version. He's not in it. That's fucking hilarious.
All right.
That's fucking funny.
So if we get a bunch of super chats on YouTube, we will buy plane tickets on British Air that are showing just to check.
We gotta double check. We gotta fact check. Tax write off, everyone.
I ain't wasting that. I ain't wasting people's money like that. We'd have to be monetized first. We are not. So do you guys have any other thoughts on the cast and people who, you thought really stood out? The story, the effects, anything like that stand out? Like, obviously, this is the second Bond movie we've watched.
Yeah.
We watched The World Is Not Enough. Not Tomorrow Never Dies. We watched The World Is Not Enough. Joey even gave us a delightful little edit for that one.
No.
And Chris still has the cartridge.
This movie.
Indeed, we did. So obviously, you guys would say this compares quite favorably to that one.
Oh, so much better.
I forgot that we watched the other one. I wouldn't
Yeah.
forget that we watched this.
The only reason I still know we watched it is because I still have the edits saved on my desktop.
Pretty good. He cut in. For those of you who don't know,
Doubtfire
audience,
hello.
you should go watch it because I think I used it in the final edit of the podcast.
Yeah.
But Joey has a couple of Mrs. Doubtfire's clips edited in because Brosnan's also in that from the same time. It's so stupid.
So good.
Oh, it was so good.
So
it was
dumb.
right at the beginning too. Like it was at the perfect moment. I
That was
loved
great.
it so much.
But back to this movie. I genuinely
Yeah, like,
loved
this
how
is so
visceral
good.
it is.
Yes.
This James Bond, yeah, he's running after the dude, but fuck it, he's gonna get in a bulldozer and he's gonna run him the fuck over.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's not gonna be like, oh, spy, funny hijinks. No, he's just gonna run him fucking over because he's on a mission and it's his fucking job. You're like, oh damn, when he fucking rams that thing through the second floor cement and he's fucking hauling ass.
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh damn, this is a different Bond movie from
Yeah.
the jump.
Oh, it's like, especially when the black and white sequence opens and he's got his first kill's a 00 or whatever.
Yeah,
That fight sequence, like, that goes so hard because this feels so real. I was like, man.
and it's a flashback.
I think it's
within a
why-
flashback.
Yeah. True, actually. No, I think I like this movie a lot more because the fighting just seems more authentic, if that makes sense. It's not like, throw henchmen and I slap away kind of shit. In
Yeah.
like some of the older James Bond movies.
Yeah, it's not the
I
1960s.
like-
Yeah.
I liked this one a lot because it showed layers of Bond. Like, the whole scene, like, one of my favorite scenes in all of Bond, where he walks in on Vespa, still dressed in the shower, which apparently that was Daniel Craig's idea to keep her in her dress. The original cut was supposed to have her in her underwear, but it's like, why would she do that? If she's traumatized like this, she would just walk in there and go with the shower running. But like that scene is like that's showing a humanity to Bond that I feel like before that we hadn't really seen. And like I liked that you saw that a lot throughout this movie, and it made him more. He wasn't just this badass guy. He is a badass guy, but he has more layers to him than just I kill things good, I sex things good, I win good. Like it's more than that. He has a deeper level, and that's why I think we can transition into possibly favorite Bonds now. This is my favorite Bond. I love Daniel Craig as Bond.
Yeah, I think as a version of the character,
Yeah.
not much comes close in the franchise. Like, don't get me wrong, Bond's a very fun character, but he's kind of a caricature for the most part.
Yes.
The more interesting characters are the villains or the Bond girls or what crazy shit Q is doing, not so much Bond himself. Other than maybe some fun one-liners and quips. But there's not much. You get it every now and then. Brosnan had some decent work and this is memory. I only really watched 3 eras consistently, but I think it's time I'll flip the page here.
Yeah.
'Cause I wrote it on the back of this page. So, Chris, since you took us here, you
Yes.
said Craig is your favorite
Craig's
Bond.
my number one. Man,
There,
it's
found
hard. It's like before. It's like there really are to me 3 Bonds. There's Craig, Brosnan, Connery. It's hard for me with Connery because like I'm not an uber fan of the older movies. I think that they're a little bit slow at times. I don't think like the way that stories were told back in the Connery era are not the way I enjoy watching movies a whole lot. But there are a lot of at least decent ones. With Brosnan, there's maybe 2 good ones. GoldenEye is like super up there. And then is it Tomorrow Never Dies? That's the is that the tidal
the,
wave one?
That's the one about the news guy controlling the news.
Yeah.
He has that stealth
I think
ship
it's-
that they blow up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's got Michelle Yeoh in it.
That
I
would
think
make
she plays a.
I believe that's it. Yeah. So like I like those two, but the other ones are so unbelievably bad that it's like,
you didn't like Roger Moore?
I will say I don't know if I can recall watching a Roger Moore Bond. I might have seen one. I just can't recall it to put him in here. So I really only know 3 Bonds from memory. So that's why it's hard for me to split Connery and Brosnan. But maybe I like GoldenEye enough to put Brosnan there at number 2. Because I love GoldenEye. Sean Bean, Famke Janssen.
Joe, what about you? What do you got?
I'm
Wait. Hold on.
What?
There were two X-Men in GoldenEye. I just realized that.
Who's the other?
Famke Janssen and the guy who plays Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah, he's in that.
Oh shit.
Invincible.
Invincible.
Alan Cumming.
He is Nightcrawler.
Yes. Yeah.
He's
Cummings.
coming. Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah.
Joe, what about you? What's your Bond ranking?
God. I think mine's gonna have to be Sean Connery. Just because I grew up watching his movies a shit ton because they're on TV quite a bit. So that's like my first introduction to Bond. So I think that holds like a weird place in my heart. So
No, it's
definitely
weird.
Sean
That's
Connery for number
understandable. That's not weird.
yeah.
No.
Well, some of the movies are kind of like, what? The whole like.
Oh, they're very of their
lady-
time.
Yeah, very much. It's like I don't condone some of the movies for what he did in them, but like him as James Bond, aesthetically, I did like it. He's my number 1.
Do you have a number 2?
Daniel Craig.
You have a number 3?
Oh God, it'd be Timothy Dalton.
I thought for sure I was going to be the only one that brought him up. And again, as I said in the pre-show, not for his Bond, but for what he would do after his Bond. He was actually in our last movie, Toy Story 3. Like he's got a great
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
cult of like fandom that follows him because he's very funny. Like he's great in comedy stuff. Unlike most of the other Bonds, like and not like stuff around him is funny. Like Brosnan has that where like he plays the straight man in some comedy stuff. Like he's in Mrs. Doubtfire as we mentioned. But like Dalton is funny. Like Chuck, season 4 would not work with anybody but Timothy fucking Dalton. He is so good that it makes me want to watch a show with Zach Levi and Adam Baldwin.
God damn it! I forgot he's in Chuck.
He's
Holy
so
shit.
good.
I never made it to. I don't think I made it to season 4 on Chuck.
It's him as Alexei Volkov is,
Yeah.
and then like the turn, like how they interact, like it's so fucking funny.
Damn.
It's so good. Like his introduction before we realize who he is goddamn hilarious. Like he's got this bit where he's like, they're like freaking out because they're about to die on a plane, and they're like saying, you know, like their last thoughts, and he's like, my sexual awakening was to Sir Lawrence of Arabia. Like that kind of stuff. It's fucking amazing. And then it turns out he's this big bad villain who like wants to destroy the world, and he plays that to a T. And then like, but he also wants to be like a father figure to our hero Chuck, and because he's in love with Chuck's mom. It's amazing, hilarious. It's played so well, and he's got a bunch of other roles where he's fantastic. Just like his presence as Timothy Dalton is so good that he's on my list at number 5. But I want to have him on the list because of who he is as an actor. As for most of the Bond movies I watched, I would say more. I have a bunch of the Blu-rays of his era, mostly because my dad likes them. And then I'd go Brosnan because I like his movies more. Then Connery as like the prototypical, you know, Bond, and then Daniel Craig's Bond as a character. That Bond is just
And you were going from bottom to top.
bottom up, yeah, bottom up,
Yeah.
yeah.
For a second, I was like, wait, no, he's going
No,
bottom.
bottom.
top.
I'm doing.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I was
At the
doing
bottom?
ascending.
You're literally
You guys
insane.
were going,
Yeah.
I think, descending. I went
Yes,
ascending.
yeah.
I should have said that at the start.
But that's why
That's
we checked.
That's why we checked. Indeed. All right, flipping the page back over. Did I have any other notes? Oh, I also wanted to make a note because I wrote this down while we were rolling. The model work on that Venetian house that they sink. That's fantastic modeling work. There was a model on green
Was
screen,
that like a
blue screen, model on blue screen,
Oh.
and then they sunk that, and then they had a separate model for the interior stuff, which was a 2 scale for the fight sequences and stuff.
was
Not
it
so
was
much
it a miniature?
the one they sunk was mini, obviously, and
Yeah,
then the
yeah.
inside was a 2 scale, so that they could shoot their,
Okay.
all their fight sequences.
Yeah.
My one quibble with all these action sequences, and this is not just James Bond, nail guns don't work that way.
Thank you! They don't operate that way!
Now, there's a few that I've seen like, oh, that actually is how they work. Where the guy like slams it into a foot to push it, and a nail goes through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's got a pressure thing on the nose. Like, and that's
Fucking
an
safety.
old
Yeah, I would
safety
like it.
mechanism.
I would like it if they like did something to push that pressure thing in, and then were able to possibly use that.
Yeah, like he puts it up against his head and uses it. Yeah.
Yeah.
that'll do it.
or he like
and that'd
is
be more
able to
badass.
contract something with like tape or string or something that hold it down, and then you can use it from a distance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, man.
But they never do that.
Nope, they never do, and there are cooler things to use on a work site anyway to kill someone. But dude, put that up to somebody's head, whack, hit him with a giant roofing brad nail. Oh fuck, that'll end someone's day.
There's some movie or show that does that. And I'm
I
like,
want to say
you did it right.
I want to say nobody did
I think you're right because
because
I
they've got
remember
a
seeing
fight
it
sequence
recently.
in that factory. I want to say they did it, but it's been a while since I've seen
that
it.
movie.
And there's been a couple TV shows where I'm like, oh, you guys definitely have someone on your set that was a contractor and knew that's how air nailers work. And I cannot place them. But there's one on a helipad scene where the guy just chunks it into somebody's foot to pin him there, and it works. To stop them from I think it was to stop him from falling off. For some reason, that was all he could get.
Oh, God.
That was his reach. It was in his hand. So he was
Fuck.
just like, got him. I can't remember what it was. Cause like the nail that must have been in that thing was crazy. But it was actually like, that was how it would function. Like he got the depressor correct. And it did it.
Yeah.
It worked. I was like, oh shit. That was really cool. But then the James Bond nail gun scene, not so good.
Yeah.
It's not a gun. It's not a gun.
None of
I like all the casino stuff. Like I think a big reason why I love this movie is because like I just love playing cards. I've always said that if I didn't like, one of my dream jobs would be to be a dealer at a casino because I love cards that much. Like I just shuffling and dealing out cards.
Yeah.
Tickles the brain.
If I have a deck of cards next to me, I will be fidgeting with it the entire time.
100%. I do the same thing. That's why I keep my
yeah.
magic cards somewhere else whenever I'm like,
Exactly.
doing something like this. Like I have to fidget
Yep.
with something. And I'd just be shuffling. I would just be... Oh, I've broken so many sleeves because of that. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of the
Oh, yeah.
poker scenes, according to Mads Mikkelsen at least, Daniel Craig, notoriously terrible poker player. Like
Really?
That's funny.
He's told this story a few times on a few different things. It's floating around the YouTube algorithm. He's like, yeah, the hands were deliberately constructed to be crazy, but also understandable. Like the straight flush to win, the aces full of sixes things. Like easy enough poker terms to understand. They don't talk river. They don't talk flop. They don't talk, burn or anything like that. Like they don't get into the weeds on the lingo because it's meant to be something that the casual audience could approach, even if they know nothing about poker. But apparently a lot of the people at the table beyond Craig were also really avid Texas, like Hold'em no limit players. And like they were playing for fun and like enjoyment and like getting into these characters. And Craig sucked. Like behind the scenes when they were like not filming for their scenes. He was just he did not understand cards. like was not a player in any sense, which I thought was a lot of hilarious bit of like irony with James Bond as like the guy that plays him, dog shit at poker.
Awful.
All right, so I think that about covers it for my notes. Do you guys have anything?
You talked about like Timothy. I'd been thinking about this before the movie, but like I think you bringing up Timothy Dalton and how he was part of our last movie, which was Toy Story 3. And I was just thinking, like, aside from things like Archer or whatever, like, would an animated
I was wondering,
James Bond work?
Are we gonna get our connection to Kingpin here? That's what I thought you were going.
Shut up. because Judi Dench, you'd never think of her in an animated role. But did you know that Judi Dench played a cow in the movie Home on the Range with Randy Quaid? Judi Dench and Red. Why are those two in a movie together? Why?
Oh God!
Of all the people in Casino Royale and Kingpin, I would never have put Judi Dench and Randy Quaid in the same movie to make it a 1.
Get a 1. God bless you, Judy. God.
I hate this bit.
I love it.
I saw this.
I
one
need
coming.
to start finding ways to bring it into the episode at different points instead of just waiting to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that we'd be able to bring up animation earlier, but I was like, I've cut people off too much already. I need to just hold off.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So what I was gonna go into
There you
is
go.
scores. What do you guys think? What are we giving it out of 5 on the letterboxed scale? 'Cause this is going on my letterboxed diary.
God. I'm gonna say a 3.5.
Jesus, a 6 out of 10.
Wow. 3.5 out of 5?
3.5. Yeah.
It was 7 out of 10.
That seems quite low.
I would probably put this one. I think for me, Skyfall is the best, and that's like a perfect 5 out of 5 for me. This is a close, like this and GoldenEye are close seconds. So I think I would put this at a 4.5.
4.5 out of 5. That's my ranking as well. 4.5 out of 5. I would like based on how we've been talking. I'm like, it was like 3 out of 5. I'm like, have we been talking about the same movie?
No, I enjoyed it.
He was going back to Kingpin.
I was going back to Kingpin and brought it down. No, I've kind of started, like, I don't know, adjusting my scale, comparing it to, like, what my 5 out of 5 movie is.
Oh, okay.
And adjusting from that, how does it stand up? Yeah. So
You're trying to be more judicious with your 5s.
yeah, like, this movie's my 5. What does it compare to? Can it beat it? No. How scales lowered it? Like, just that kind of concept, yeah.
All right, well, then to get into a vein of what we might talk next, what would be a 5 out of 5?
There Will Be Blood.
Okay. Let's talk action, because that's the kind of action spy world we're in. What would be a 5 in that genre?
I never thought about that.
Would a Die Hard go there? Would John Wick?
I think John Wick would, but I don't know which John Wick at this point in time.
I would probably say a 5 out of 5 in the action genre for me is like, I think maybe Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol or The Winter Soldier.
Great movie.
Those are incredible, and they're like in the spy realm as well. So I feel like that would be a good comparison to a Bond film, and those two I would probably watch before this. I think the only issue with this movie, a little bit too long.
Agreed.
A little bit too long. If they cut a little bit and we're still able to make it work, I would watch this more.
Fair enough. That's a fair enough critique. So speaking of other movies, it's time to pick our next film. So we're going to our wheel spin page. It's between me and Joe. Let's spin that wheel, and away we go.
Bro.
Come on, let's get Inception finally. So we're
Looks like it's gonna be Joe.
Fuck.
Joey.
Okay. Prepare your anuses, boys. It could get interesting.
Man, hold on.
Joey is the guy that gave us
Revving it up.
Kingpin. So Joe, is there any movie you're hoping we get?
Anything newish will be great.
Based on your list of the first 20 or so that are on the list, and what was in my recent YouTube algorithm, I want Tremors.
Tremors is dope as fuck.
Yeah, I want the OG.
Yeah.
And apparently the rights just reverted to the creator, so we might be getting a sequel.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Sick.
All right, spinning the wheel. And away we go.
Fuck.
Come on, Inception.
Fuck.
That'd be awesome.
It's another long one, but it's a great one.
There's a longer one on the list.
Oh, I don't know if Chris could like this one. It's 28 days later.
Oh, shit.
Is that the one with Cillian Murphy?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's
I
the
do
zombie
like Cillian
movie.
Murphy, though.
It's the rage zombies. Yeah.
These ones are super spooky.
Dang.
For those in the audience,
Guys,
who
I'm
may
going to
not,
get a lot of work done on this
for
next
those in the
episode.
audience who may not know, Chris, not a big fan of zombies. He really did struggle to get through World War Z. We had to take a few breaks.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see how this one goes.
We didn't take a few breaks. I just minimized the video player to be as small as possible. I made the sound muted. I watched YouTube videos while I was watching, and I did art. So I do not like zombie movies at all.
And
Productive
it's not
day
like
for you.
he's not a fan of the art. Like, it's the zombie thing, I
No,
think.
it's yes.
Yeah.
I am. The short of it is cannibalism type stuff freaks me out so much. I do not like it. So, and like when I watch movies, I try to immerse myself as much as possible. So I picture myself in the scenarios that are there. And let's be real. If a zombie apocalypse happened in real life, bye everybody. I'm going away.
Yeah.
Yep.
God.
And that's fair enough. You don't have to watch it with us at all if it makes it uncomfortable, and we can just banter, and you can pepper us with questions about the movie.
We might do that.
Might have to do that. All right, so that's going to be the plan for the next episode. Let me go back to the main screen. That'll be in roughly 2 weeks, give or take, as usual. So hit that subscribe if you want to stay tuned for our thoughts on 28 Days Later, as well as to see what we get up to in the last few weeks of this season. I think we'll do up through Superman. I think should we end with Superman, the movie, the OG, to lead into Superman? Or should we shuffle all the Superman movies? Animated included? Because some did, like, not theaters. Actually, I do think The Death and Return of Superman was a theatrical release, a limited one.
Yeah. If you want my Justice League animated ones in there too, I've got some Justice League ones.
Yeah.
With the Zack Snyder cut in there.
Batman v Superman.
That'd be up there. You got the Superman Returns. You got, we got Man of Steel. There's a lot we could do.
You want to put what is it? Superhero movie in with Drake Bell. Put that in there.
Oh, okay.
So many question marks. What the fuck?
You don't know the superhero movie? I think it's called that.
Oh, is that the parody one?
It's like
that's
the
a
it's like a scary movie, but for superhero.
Yeah, when they all started to suck.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They beat that horse to death. Yeah.
And then they brought it back to life and murdered it again.
And that just fucking killed it again.
All right, well, we'll get out of here. Stay tuned to hit that subscribe, hit the like, and then social links also are in the Discord if you want to get up to date on Blue Sky. That's really where we post. It's Box Office Shuffle. I don't remember the actual handle, but it's down below in the link. See ya.